There's so much on there. It's 19 minutes past 8 on The Breakfast Show. I'd love to know your thoughts on what you're about to hear. A very unusual row has broken out between two councillors in Shropshire over an oak tree cut down in Meal Village in Shrewsbury in October. Shropshire Council gave a tree team the go-ahead to fell the English oak last November, just weeks before a new law came into force. The updated legislation means councils must hold a consultation before a tree is cut down in residential areas. Liberal Democrat councillor Bernie Bentinck accused the council of breaking the law and illegally cutting it down, but the Conservative-run authority rejected the claim last week, saying the decision to fell the tree was made before the new law was introduced. Then on Friday, the BBC saw an email from the planning team at Shropshire Council apologising for the tree being cut down due to an oversight of new guidance. Our political reporter Rob Trigg has been speaking to Councillor Morris, who says these are his personal views and not that of Shropshire Council.
I found out yesterday that had been this technical breach of procedure, but brought about by relatively new legislation that the council had been, looking at, and I guess technically, probably this was in the wrong, but I'm not sure that the officers involved would have come to a different conclusion anyway. It depends, and I also would say that we have very, very good technical expertise within the council on trees and such like, and I just think this is it's a technicality, really.
A disappointing one, isn't it? It was an oversight, but there is an English oak tree that's been felled that may have been avoided if the community could have provided some voice in that consultation. That's true. But then, there was another tree that wasn't removed as a result of this. And to be honest with you, there's a wider point to this. In general, councillors, I think there's a lot going on in the council at the moment. There's well-documented issues with the council in terms of funding and how we restructure the council. And I think trying to tie up officers in a technicality, which is effectively what it is, it just seems a bit pedantic to me. And I would think, councillors like Bernie Bentinck should reflect on that and perhaps throw their efforts into being, helping the council through its sort of strategic issues at the moment, as opposed to picking individual officers up on technicalities, which, they can't respond to in public. I think it's a case of self-promotion and producing a scoop to go in a political magazine, I think, and nothing more than that. I guess, though, he has been vindicated. He claimed that the tree was illegally felled, and the council has now put its hands up and said, yeah, he's right.
Technically, perhaps, yes, but I think there are a lot of important things going on in the council world at the moment, and digging over minutiae to prove a point for self-promotion, I think, maybe Bernie Bentinck should reflect and perhaps focus his energies on helping, the wider strategic issues at the council.
I will say, I went out on Thursday and there was a lot of local anger to this tree being cut down. I guess they'll feel vindicated. Do you think the council should apologise to the community at the very least, if you don't want to apologise to Councillor Bentinck?
I've seen an email to Councillor Bentinck, and the officer responsible for the department has issued an apology.
Is that enough?
Well, he's apologised.
So what now then, Councillor Morris?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what happens.
What happens now, I guess? How do you make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Well, I know that there are things going on in the county at the moment, that this new policy and procedure is going ahead. And, it has been implemented. The reason it got missed was the retirement of a senior specialist, and it was just came at the wrong time. It is unfortunate, and it is a technical breach, but the officers involved are implementing the new policy, as we speak now. So it has been implemented, and the council department has apologised and sent that in writing to Councillor Bentinck.
The Conservative portfolio holder for highways at Shropshire Council there, Dan Morris, speaking with our political reporter Rob Trigg. Liberal Democrat councillor Bernie Bentinck is now calling for Councillor Dan Morris to resign from his position, claiming he misled the council. If you want to have your say on that story or anything else we're talking about this morning, you can call 0808 100 96 96 and you can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Make sure you start your message with the word Shrop. 8:24 on The Breakfast Show.
The sound of where we live. Breakfast with Adam Green. BBC Radio Shropshire.
Now, news about the gravestone of Ebenezer